G'day, welcome back to Dad vs Son and our playthrough of Great War Commander from Hexasim. We are at time 4 of 8. At the moment, the French have up to 2/3 of their surrender value. The Germans have only lost one platoon at the moment, and the Germans have 3 VP. I was having a think last night after placing this unit here, and the card said to set it up in a setup hex, and then I started to think, well, we didn't actually set anybody up there, but then I thought, well, it says the French set up 7 hexes deep. So I decided to leave it there. I think it's a 50-50. It is within the 7 hexes deep. It's not exactly on where they set up their original troops, but I believe it's still justified. So just in case anybody's questioning that, that's my reasoning for it. That's for the French 75 here. Righto, so the next thing is it's the Germans' turn, and what I'm thinking is I need to probably get some of these away from this sort of thing. It was nice to take out the French machine gun here, that's for sure. That helped to cut down on what they can and can't do. We're applying some pressure up here, which is good, so we're starting to move up that way. The fires at the moment aren't a worry for me on the German side. They're a bit of a worry on the French side if they start to come up here in direction 6. But yeah, other than sort of direction 6 or down here to direction 3 or 2, they really can't go over this way, so until they get down here, and then they can start to spread up or get up here and then spread out. So that's not too bad. So my worry at the moment is if I start to withdraw these troops away from these French forces, then that's going to allow them to come down and take control of this again. So I'm sort of trying to think what the best way around this is. I cannot get anywhere near parity up here to do an advance and assault into there unless I can get a couple of ambushes to knock them down. But even then, with 2 ambushes, they're likely to just downgrade the specialist and then get rid of him. And that would still leave parity with their forces. So yeah, it does become a bit of a problem. So we need to knock them down, but we also need to try and protect the German forces. From the French side, as we were saying, they've got a pretty good force here. If they can swing these guys around to try and knock off 1 or 2 of these fusiliers, then that will make life a lot easier for the French. I haven't been able to really bring the field gun into play yet. It'll be interesting when we can do that, and it might be able to knock down the Germans a little bit. Over here is relatively weak. We only have the Lieutenant Labasse, who only has a 1 command radius against the Haupt Waldau with his 2. So no matter what happens here, they're going to be at a disadvantage. So that's the way my thinking's going at the moment, all over the place. So German turn, and they finished with 2 artillery requests, which they cannot use anything for, 2 recovers, which are wonderful, but they have picked up a command confusion and an artillery request. Wow. At least this artillery request has marksmanship on it, so I'm going to hang on to that. I'm going to get rid of the other 2 artillery requests and the command confusion, because I just can't use anything on them whatsoever. And that's just a pain in the bum for the Germans, and 3 new cards for them. Right. The French have a recover and a move, and have picked up an advance and a recover. So now the shoe's on the other foot. Do we advance into here and try and knock out Lieutenant Rommel? And we don't have any cards to help with that whatsoever. No ambushes or anything else. But we do have the advantage. And I think that may be the way to go. I'm not sure what the Germans have got. Like I said, they finished with 2 recovers and an artillery request, and they have nothing to help with melee in that whatsoever. So I think we have to do it. We need to push them back. We're down 4 VP, and if we knock these out, then that'll give us a +1 VP for the French side. So let's try. We shall advance. So we'll put Rommel there, Lieutenant Antoine, the line unit, and our 75. I've left the heat of the aircon off this morning. It's still a bit nippy, but I thought it's probably a bit better without the noise, so we'll see how that goes. Righto, so Germans to start with, do they have anything that can help? And the answer is that they do have a card that helps with the melee, which will give them a +2 to the melee roll. So let's have a look here. So the Germans are here at 6, +2 is 8, +2 is 10, and with the card that gives them 12. Just check that again. 6 +2 is 8, +2 is 10, +2 is 12. Okay. And the French have nothing to help. Okay, so it's 12 for the Germans, plus 8 is 20. Ouch. Okay, we might have bit off more than we had chew again. We'll just have to see. And we have a German sniper hitting at D3, which is all the way over here and does nothing. Okay, the Frenchmen are at 4, +8 is 12, +2 is 14. 14. So they need a 7 or better to kill. And they draw a 10. Oh, okay. And we have an event which is malfunction. Break the weapon or suppress the tank closest to a random hex. And the random hex is F2. But the only weapon that is actually on the map at this time is this guy anyway. So he gets broken. But we have destroyed Lieutenant Rommel and his platoon of veteran Fusiliers. So that's 5 VP, 3 for Rommel, 2 for the Fusilier. So we take 3 off the Germans, 2 on for the French, and they're now at 2 VP for the French, and the Germans are up to half of their surrender value. Righto. So that leaves us 2 recovers for the French now and a move. So what I'm thinking of doing is bringing these guys down now to continue the pressure here, or bring them over in support there. And I think the best is, well, in fact, I need to support them, but I need to bring this guy down. I need to block these off because these are going to try and do a runner now. That's for sure. They need to try and get away. So we are going to do the move. So we will move, activate Lieutenant Grenier, I think it is, and this flying unit, and they're going to go into here for 2. And the Germans can fire if they wish. They do have a fire order. This guy can fire up into there. He'd be firing for 5, -1 for the hindrance still is 4. We're going to use this fire order for opportunity fire. We're going to use marksmanship to add 2 to that. So he's firing for 6. There we go. And just to put the cake on it, we'll add a crossfire as well for 8. Let's see if we can just hold them up. So we're firing for 8, +7 is 15, and we have a German sniper putting a round down at A1, so it's miles from anyone, does nothing. Righto, so these guys are now here for 9, 10, 11, 12 for the platoon, +11, so he's fine, and we have a French sniper at I6. 2 fixed the cannon. A1 fixed the cannon, and now we are at I6, which does nothing. So he's fine, and the lieutenant up here, again, here for 11, +10, and he's fine as well. So they're now going to move down 1 more, which is another 2. This guy can take another shot, but he's just firing for 5 now. There's no hindrance. He has nothing to add to it to help. 5 + 11, pretty good, 16. Again, we're here for 9 and 3 is 12 for the platoon. 12 and 5 is 17, so he's fine. And Lieutenant Grenier there for 11, and 2 is 13. So he breaks, but we're going to use a probe to rally that leader straight back. So he's just happy where he is. And that's that. So the French will get rid of those. They get 3 new cards. And the Germans are down to 2 cards to use. And that's it. They have a recover and an artillery request. Neither is any good to them. So they're going to get rid of the artillery request and get 5 new cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're back to the French, who have picked up an artillery request, an advance, and a HMG suppress. So I think we'll do an advance. So let's see if we can knock these Germans out. So we will advance. We're going to advance into here against this Fusilier. And we're going to take a chance to advance this guy into here as well. We're going to attack into this one first. So what do the Germans have to help? And they have nothing. Absolutely nothing. Okay, so Mr. German is there for 5. +5 is 10. And we have a German event, which is surrenders. Eliminate 1 broken German unit adjacent to an enemy unit. There are no broken German units, so that doesn't matter. So he's in there for 10. And again, this guy's here for 4. +8 is 12. +2 is 14. Okay, 14 +6, and this guy is gone again, which brings them up to parity unit-wise. 2 more VP for the French. And then we have this one-on-one. Nobody has anything to help whatsoever, so it's the German 5 plus 10 and an event, which is Valor. A friendly unit adjacent to an enemy formation becomes Veteran. I'd like to put it on him, but I think that'd be silly at the moment. So I'm going to place it on here to give these guys a bit more beef. And he's adjacent. So this guy is at 15. So to win, we need an 11 or 12 for the French, a 10 for mutual extermination, and we get an 11. Oh my God. So the German is gone. That's their penultimate loss. 2 more VP for the French. Wow. Okay, so the French now have a HMG suppressor, recover, and an artillery request. Cannot use any of those, so they will get 1 new card. Now the Germans are down to a recover, and they've picked up a fire, a move, a move, a move, and a rout. Wow. Okay, well, recover's no good to them. Fire, yeah, we could do that. So we could fire into here. What I'm thinking of maybe doing is using at least one of the moves to move this guy 2-4 up into here. Or 2-4 up to here, in fact. So let's do that first. So we're going to move. This guy's going to go 2, 1 for the fence, 1 for the field, 4, 5. He's still in command radius, so he's fine. And he's starting his run around to get off the board. Or to get around behind the French anyway. So now we've done that, we're going to do the fire. We need to try and knock these French down a bit. So we're going to fire. We'll activate all this here. So these guys can fire into here. This guy can fire into here by himself. So we'll do this one first. So he's firing for 5. -1 is 4 due to the fog. He has nothing to add to that. 4 + 7, 11. And the Frenchman is in here for 10. Does have a light wounds if he needs to use it. Does have a counter-attack. May suppress up to 2 activated enemy formations. So he is going to do that, and he's going to suppress this guy and this guy. Righto. So we have 11 into here. He's in there for 10 + 7, and he's fine. And now these guys are reduced down, oh, sorry, are suppressed. So they're going to fire 4. 5 + 1 - 1, so no difference. So 5 + 2 is 7, + 1 is 8 into here with no hindrance. Oh, + 12 is 20. Okay, so let's just chuck that up there. And we'll shuffle up the German deck. Righto. So German deck is shuffled. We move time forward 1. The French get another VP, taking them to 7. We have no smoke. We have no gas. We have no reinforcements coming back on. And both players have a strategy card, so we're done. So we have 20 firepower coming into here. This guy is here for 10. We do have a light wounds to help him if need be, and a 5 for 15. So they are going to use I think it's better for them to use the light wounds. So this guy will come off and run away. We get a specialist in as a replacement. The French lose 1 VP down to 6. And that's the 2 orders for the Germans. So they are finished. And we'll get 2 new cards. Now the French only have 2 cards. One of them's a recover, the other is an artillery request. So we can't use either of those. But I wanted to save the recover at the moment rather than waste it just on this one guy. I'd really like the chance to move him back into here to beef this up. And that's why I was happy to go down to a team with that. So the French will get 2 cards. No defender only stuff on them. And we're back to the Germans who have 2 moves, a rout, a recover, a fire, and another move. So the first thing they're going to do is a... what? Do we want to recover? Do I want to move this guy? He could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He'd end up suppressed there, but nobody can shoot at him or anything else, and then he could jump out of there next turn. And I think that might be worthwhile. We need to get the victory points for the Germans. So they can only lose 1 more person. But I think we need to knock some Frenchmen out while we have the chance here. So the first thing we're going to do is a recover. And we're going to remove that suppression. And then we're going to fire and try and do some more damage. So again, we're going to activate these guys here. So this guy can fire into here, or he can fire into here. In fact, we might just fire all up into here. Is that worthwhile? It'd be 1, but then I lose the 1 for the hindrance, so no. So this guy's going to fire here again. Again, he fires for 5 minus 1 is 4. That's a stretch. Plus 9 is 13, so not too bad for that little fella. And again, this guy's in here for 10. And they have nothing to help this time. Okay, so he's in there for 10, plus 10, 20, he's fine. This guy is now firing for 8, plus 1 is 9, into here. Because he is now 6, plus 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9, into here. Plus 7 is 16, and we have a German sniper who is going to hit at A1, which does nothing again all the way up there. Okay, so 16 into here. This guy is there for 11 and has nothing to help. 11 and 7, 18, and he is fine. And that is the end of the German turn. We again check them, and their cohesion is fine. They get 2 new cards, and we're over to the French. And the French don't have anything to move with again. They have a recover, an artillery request, a fire, and a fire. So again, the only fire they can really do is this to here, or this guy to here. Suppose we could fire across here, add one in for him, and he could fire into here. Why not? We need to do it. Okay, so we are going to fire as our first order. We are going to fire into here first. We are going to use marksmanship for a +2. And because we have a bloke who's adjacent, I believe that we can use hand grenades as well. So we've got a +4. So we're firing for 6, +1 is 7, +4 is 11. Oh, +3, 14. Wow. Okay, now the Germans have a counter-attack, so we could use that. They have a probe, they have a concealment, they have a go to ground, which is no good. Okay, so I think what we're going to do is, just to get rid of cards, we're going to counter-attack, and that'll at least suppress this guy. So that's gone. What have we got into there? 14. This guy's going to be here for 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I think we'll just let that go. He's there for 13, +6, he's fine. We have an event, which is high command meddling. Jesus. Okay. So we'll pull a card. That's the next card we've got to use. And then Haupt Waldau is in here for 11, +7, and he's fine. Okay. So the French only have a recover left. They're going to hold that for the time being. They'll get 3 new cards. And okay. Just got to check something quickly. Dum, dum, dum. Okay, righto. So Germans. So the first order that they have to give is they've got an advance. That's the high command meddling is an advance. Well, I think we'll take that. So we will advance. We're going to advance the Hauptmann and his elite platoon into this little specialist man here. We'll advance this Fusilier into here, and we'll advance into here, rolling up the French right flank. Okay, so the French, do they have anything to help? And they have nothing. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Okay, so this guy is here for 1. A whole 1 plus 8 is 9. So it's better than I thought he was going to get, that's for sure. And here we have our veteran platoon, which starts with 6, +2 is 8, +2 is 10, and another 2 is 12, which is still better than 9. And the specialist is gone. That's their penultimate unit on the surrender track, and 1 VP for the Germans, taking it to 5. So the next person to lose a unit surrenders. Okay. So do the Germans have anything to do after that? And they do not. So they've done their advance. All this has happened. I think what we'll do now is we can't fire, we can't move, we can't rout or anything else. So that's it for the Germans, and they get 1 card. Right, the French have a recover, an artillery request, an air assault, and a move. So I think the first thing we need to do is to move whilst we can. Okay. So first off, we will do, let's see, no, we will do the move. And what I'm going to do is simply move this line unit 1, 2, and take control of objective 5. It may be worth something in the end, I'm not sure. So that's their move. I was a bit iffy about trying to move up here at the moment, in case this fire spreads. So what else do we want to do? And I think what we'll do is we will try an air assault. Gets rid of the card, and that's good. And we have B8. Righto, so B8 is here. We trace a line, can't get any Germans, So, no good at all. That's the French turn over, and they get 2 new cards. And we're back to the Germans with a fire, 3 moves, a rout, and an artillery request. Right. So I suppose the bestest we can do is to fire and try and knock out somebody. We got anything that'll help with that? And the answer is no, we don't. So we're going to fire. We're going to fire into here. That way there's no hindrance at all. So we're going to fire with this guy. So that's 6 plus 2 is 8, 9, 10 into here. So we have 10 plus 9 is 19. And we're going to add our, no we're not. So 19. There we go. So these guys are here. They have a concealment they can use. But do I care about that? He's going to be there for 8 and 3 is 11. He's going to be there for 11 as well. Against a 19. It's just that the concealment action is on an offensive card, and I think being able to use the offensive to bring these forces over is good. But I think we need the concealment. So we are going to use the concealment to decrease this from 19 down to 17. So this guy here, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 for the platoon, plus 8, 19. So he would have been suppressed. He's not. And again, 11 here, plus 9, and he would have actually been fine. So, no, it worked out well. So that is the first for the Germans. And I think what we're going to do is try and start getting that guy off the board. Why not? So we're going to do a move, and this guy will go 1, 2, 3. We have no line of sight. 4, 5, and we have no line of sight to there. He's still in the command radius. Right. 2 new cards for the Germans, and now the French have a recover, artillery request, and a move. And I think this is where... can I get somebody up there? Let's have a look. We're going to move. We're going to take this little guy here. Now he could go 1, freebie, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can't get up there. He could go 2, 4, 6. Still can't get up there. This guy could go... If we leave the cannon behind, these two could go 6. He can go 8. He can only go 6. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got to try it. So they're on the road. They go 0, 1. Still no line of sight. Oh, we can't go in there. Ah! Hang on a tick. Can't go into the fire. That'd be just stupidity. Can I get anybody up there that's going to do any bloody good at all? This guy can move 4. No, he can move 2, and that's it. So 6 he can move. You can go 0, 1, 3, 5, which at least give him a 0, 1, 3, 4, 5, and I think that's the best we can do. So let's try that. We go 0, 1, 2, 3. We now have a line of sight here. So do the Germans want to fire? And they do have a fire, and they want to stop him if possible. But they'd rather stop him up here if possible. Is he going to get a shot in? No. No. So this is the only chance of slowing him down. So the Germans are going to opportunity fire with this guy. Firing through here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Firing for 5 minus 1 is 4 for the hindrance. No. Stop that. Can't do. Can't do. Can't do. Fire blocks line of sight right across the hex edge as well. So he's here for 3, 4, no line of sight, no line of sight, no line of sight, 5, nothing, 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 6, we do have line of sight now. So that's where we'll take the shot. So this guy is going to shoot for 4 across here with nothing to help. Plus 10 is 15. And we have an event. German event is Valor. A friendly unit adjacent to an enemy formation becomes a veteran. So these guys are holding out and doing it. Okay, so we have 15 into here. And this guy is here for 8, and 3 is 11. Oh, plus 3. Oh, he's hit. Oh. There we go. but he's blocking this exit hex, which is the main thing. Okay, so that is the first action for the first order for the French. So the next thing they're going to do is recover. So this guy's here for 9. Plus 3 is 11. And we get a 6. So he is back with a vengeance. Like that. And the French will get 3 new cards. So 1, 2, 3. No defender only stuff. So now the poor old Germans are left with 2 moves, a rout, an offensive, and an artillery request. Wow. Okay. What do the Germans do? What do the Germans do? Do they simply try and move off the board? But if there's no Germans left on the board, then we're pretty well screwed as well. If the Germans simply retreat out of the way, they only hold one objective. The only way they can win is to knock off a Frenchman. That's all they can do. They need to knock off a Frenchman. So with their offensive, the only way they're going to get effectively 2 shots is into this guy. Try and reduce him on 1, kill him on the 2nd. But then we have to move because that's part of the offensive. So I think we've got to do it. So we're going to do a German offensive, but we're going to fire before we move rather than the other way around. So we'll fire with this guy first. So he's firing for 6 into here with nothing to help. Plus 7 is 13, not real flash. Okay, and this guy's in here for 10. And has nothing to help either. Okay, so 10 plus 4 is 14 against our 13. Wow. Okay, and then we're firing from here for 6, 7, 8, minus 1 is 7 into here. Plus 12 is 19. Our time marker goes up to time 6, and the hindrance for the fog has gone. It's lifted. The French get another bloody victory point. We shuffle up the German deck. Okay. And the Germans have to... I'm going to leave that offensive card there so I don't forget that they've got to move. And then I'll just slot it into the German deck somewhere. Okay, again, we have no sudden death. We have no smoke or gas to remove. We have no dig-ins. And both sides still have their strategy card. Excuse me. Okay, so this guy's here for 10 with nothing to help. Plus 6, and he's hit. Like that. Righto, so now these guys have to move. So we're going to go back here. This guy could fire if he wanted to, but he'd be firing at 2 with nothing to add to it. On the fact they don't have a fire order, so it doesn't matter. And this guy will come back here. And they have succeeded. Can they go backwards? No, I don't think they can go backwards, can they? So we'll move these ones to here and this guy to here. That way they're still going up. Right, which leaves us with one more order we can give. So we are going to do a move and get this guy out of here. So he will go 2, 3, 4, 5 to bring him back into the fold. And that's it for the Germans. They'll get 3 new cards, and we're over to the French, who have a move, command confusion, rout, and an artillery request. So they've got 2 cards they can't use. They can only get rid of 1 card anyway. Okay, I need to start moving some people up. But I need to get him out of firing line as well, or recovered. Righto, we're going to do a move first. I'm going to activate... No, I've only got 2 leaders here. I'm just going to activate this line unit here by himself, and he can go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he's still in command radius of the lieutenant here, so that's fine. Just help him to get some people up there. And then just to get rid of a card, I am going to rout the French. So this guy here. And he's there for 11. We get an 8 and nothing happens. The chances of anything happening were relatively small, and it's just a way to get rid of some cards. Nothing on there for them. So Germans have have a move, a rout, an artillery request, a move, and an offensive again. So this time they're going to try and jump back there and take that guy out. And that was the other reason I was trying to rout him out away. So German offensive, we activate everybody here. Righto. How to do this? This guy will come forward to here. Can the French shoot him? And they do have a fire order. So they are going to use it for opportunity fire. They're going to activate all these people here. So we've got 5 plus 1 is 6, 7, 8 into here. We're going to not do that. So we have 8 plus 10, 18. And we have a French event, which is High Command Meddling. So that's got to be our next order. Okay, so we have 18 into here. Now this guy is in here for 9 and 2 is 11. We do have a probe if need be, but I might be better off holding that. Let's see how we go. We've got 11 plus 4. Yeah, so he breaks, but we're going to use the probe to fix him up. And then these guys move into here together. Again, they can shoot for 5, 6, 7 now only into here. Plus 8 is 15, still not too bad. Okay, so this veteran here is in here for 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Plus 9, he's fine. We have a German event, which is Auftragstick. So again, you may displace a friendly leader and any friendly unit stacked with him into an adjacent hex. So we will. And we will displace him to here. And they were firing there. So that stops. And then this guy can move into here. And they shoot again for 6, 7 into there. Plus 6 is 13. And he's in there for 11. Plus 6, and he's fine. And then we can shoot. So we can form a fire group here to shoot into here. And these guys can shoot into here. So let's do this first, because if we can bump him off, that's the end of the game. Righto, so we have 6 plus 1 is 7 into here. There is no hindrance anymore. So 6 plus 1 is 7 into here. 7 plus 2. 9. The Germans don't want to win this. No, they don't. Okay. So, right. So 9 into here. He's already there for 11 plus 6 and is fine. And that was the last French card. So as soon as we fire into here, it's going to be time. So again, what we have here is 6 plus 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9 into here. So we have 9, plus 6 is 15, not real flash either. And the French need to draw a card. So we're at time. We go to time 7. We go to 7 VP for the French. We shuffle up their deck. We can get rid of the fire card. Righto. So again, no dig-ins. We have no smoke or gas to remove. Both sides still have their strategy cards. No reinforcements to come on. So we have 15 into Lieutenant Labas. This guy's here for 8 and 3 is 11. Plus 8, so he's fine. The French event is Hero. If not already in play, place a French hero in a friendly hex and rally 1 broken unit. So our French hero comes into here and rallies this guy. And I think that's just put the kibosh totally on everything the Germans were trying. Okay, and then we have 11 for Lieutenant Labas, plus 10 as well, and they are fine. And the Germans can't do anything else because they have activated all their people. They get 2 new cards, and we're down to the French, and this has to be their first, and it is a runner. So they'll get their runner. And he will go with Lieutenant Antoine. There he is. And now they have a command confusion, a recover, and an artillery request. They can't use any of those. So that's it. they get 1 card. And we're back to the Germans. 2 moves, artillery and a rout. And they pick up an advance and a fire. Okay, so this is it. The Germans advance. It's all or nothing. And they will advance into here. They have an advantage. Maybe. Do they have anything to add to it? And they have absolutely nothing. Okay. The French do not have an ambush. But they have Elan to add a +2 to a melee roll. So, this guy is here for 6, +1 is 7, +2 is 9. 9 plus 5 is 14. The Germans are here for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They need a 5 or better. 6! And they knock the Frenchman out. Lebas and his bloke are gone. That hits surrender. Victory point-wise is 4 down. 1, 2, 3, 4. So still 3 victory points for the French. But the Germans have made the French surrender. So the only thing left was the French secret objective, which was that each objective was worth 3 VP. So the French held 4 objectives, which is 12 VP, minus 3 is 9 more VP for the French, which would have taken them up to 12 VP total. Wow, that came down to the wire. That really, really did. I really thought towards the end there, the French were in trouble, that's for sure, but considering they were only these units left German-wise on there, it was just, I wasn't getting the chance, especially with the fires blocking off this hex, of being able to get troops over there to bring a lot more bloody pressure on. Wow. Well, that's it. That's the end of the first scenario, Birth of a Legend. And even though poor old Rommel got knocked off, Haupt Waldau did it. Well done, that man. So we actually have a relatively historical outcome. The village has been shot to poo. Buildings were on fire. There were lots of Frenchmen and Germans dead on the streets, along with the Belgian civilians. So there you go. Thanks for coming along for the journey. I hope it hasn't been overly painful for you. At the end there, I didn't worry about using the +1s because they would have just evened themselves out with the thing, and it didn't really matter anyway. So I will catch you next time for scenario 2, which is Fix Bayonets. And we'll have the French attacking this time, rather than the Germans. So take care, and I'll catch you next time. Bye for now.